All right, we
This
are
is it.
live. Um, Denise, this is a studio first,
It is. We never get a chance to do this.
man. And more importantly, we have Brunella with us. Wait till Carrie sees how good I'm taking care of Brunella while she's flying up to speak at a women's conference in New York City. This,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Well, yes, Brunella looks like she's being taken very well care of.
that's right,
She's
Brunella.
joining us for the live stream today. She is thrilled to be here to talk about CDPs.
Oh man, we were talking about CDPs and it put it right to sleep. Oh, maybe
Good.
that isn't
She's
a good
done.
maybe that's not a good
No.
sign. But we are here to talk about customer data platforms and we want to get people excited about the potential
Hmm.
of CDPs in their dealership, whether they're small, single, 2 or 3 stores, 10 stores, 20 stores, 50 stores. There is something for everyone. Gray Scott he's prophetic. Gray Scott's like, Brunella can't contain her excitement, so she's so exhausted. She
She
decided.
just passed
Is that
out.
right, Brunella? Is that right? Is that right? That's right.
It's thrilling. So
Uncle
that's
Gray
it
says
for her.
hello. All right, Denise, where do we want to
Yeah.
start with the conversation on CDPs?
Well, first off, I want to thank you for joining me today on this live stream. Like I said, we never get a chance to do this. We are just always, heads to the ground working the executive team at PCG Digital. So I'm glad that we're able to do this. So there's been so much talk about CDPs. You have done a ton of research that has now flowed into the digital agency, which is great. So I know from your research and from you working with dealers, you've come across many challenges that dealerships are facing when choosing a CDP. Could you start to address some of those challenges that dealers do face?
That's right. I think the first thing is clarification on what the CDP does and what it doesn't do.
Hmm.
It doesn't replace the DMS. That's your accounting system. It doesn't
Right.
replace the CRM. That's your lead follow up or immediate opportunity follow up. The CDP is a independent third leg of the stool for automotive retail operations. It will come more and more as a standard of business operations because we have outsourced most of the customer contact to 3, 4, 5, or even 6 different companies,
Right.
which prevents dealers from controlling the cadence of communication, the quality of communication, the consistency of communication, the compliance. So the
Right.
first thing is does it replace the CRM and DMS? No. And that's first thing. And then the second thing is what are my use cases that I could sell to management
Hmm.
that would justify the cost, the effort, the change? And that will depend on the platform because each CDP will offer different features and integrations. And I think the third thing that challenged Denise is very practically most marketing managers have not dealt with data unification, identity resolution, owning and creating their own audiences. They've pretty much just trusted Google for an audience, or Facebook for an
Right.
in-market shopper, or a contact Polk for an in-market shopper. So I
Right.
think it's also the skill set to know which platform is best for them isn't easily found inside the dealership.
Absolutely. And I think one of the challenges that, come to some of the dealers that I've been working with too is really understanding that it's not it shouldn't be looked at first and foremost as a marketing tool, right? This is a data platform where you are putting all of your first party data together, you're cleaning it up, you can have more intentional marketing because of it, but you want to look at it as a hub, just like you're saying. One of the challenges that we've seen over on the agency side when we have clients that are, looking to integrate with a CDP is really who should be the point of contact in the dealership to handle the CDP? Should that be one person? Should multiple people be involved? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think there has to be some type of gatekeeper. If you think about when the CDP is fully formed,
Hmm.
then instead of vendors going to the DMS for data, they're going to be coming to the CDP. the
Right.
CDP will have the most accurate information for each customer. With that in mind, just like dealers have to be very careful of who they grant access to, there has to be one person responsible for access and guiding the vision.
Hmm.
Now,
Right.
that being said, for larger dealer groups, and one project I'm working on, there's one primary gatekeeper, but the agency is really in the CDP as well, building audiences, working on the
Hmm.
connectivity of audience to creative. So there has to be an owner. And here's the key. I think that person has to be a stable employee, someone that has some skin in the game, that's going to be
Right.
around, because really you're talking about all of your customer data now in one place with cadence, communication, what, really controlling the customer experience. And I just wouldn't throw a rookie who didn't understand automotive, didn't understand the ethics, values, and brand promise of the dealer just to be messing around with, this single source of data.
Right. And going back to the gatekeeper at the dealership, right? I think there's always confusion when a new tool is introduced at a dealership that they, sometimes go in the process of saying, okay, well, my other vendors can work with this and handle this. But you're absolutely right. There needs to be a gatekeeper within the dealership that is handling all of the communication, making sure all the vendors are synchronizing in, using it the way that they see. Now, going along the lines of that, we always say that a CDP is not a one size fits all, right?
Right.
So you've done a lot of research with tiers of CDPs. So if I'm a dealership and I've just read your article about the tiers of CDPs and identity resolution, where do I go from here?
Yeah, so there's two frameworks I want dealers to understand. Is one is an operational framework, and one is a
Hmm.
data quality or data vision. So let me address both of these separately. Number one, when picking a vendor, you have to be honest about your staffing and the vision. If a dealer is saying, I just want more efficient marketing, I'm not really focused on the customer experience so much. I just want to have a single source of truth for each customer. I don't want people having copies of my CRM or DMS data. There are
Hmm.
platforms that are turnkey where the CDP is also the marketing arm,
Right.
so the dealer doesn't have to do much other than guide the vision, because it's not really a CDP owned by the dealer. It's a marketing platform in CDP as a package. If they leave that vendor, they have to export their data and decide what to do.
Right.
So there's that. There's others that are more open. They're not
Hmm.
preloaded with 20 different customer journeys. Um, but the dealer needs somebody to build those customer journeys, build the creative. And in those situations, the dealers have much more to think about, but also you have the most customizable solution. So
Right.
some dealers don't have the staff, don't want the staff. They just want the advantage of the tech. Others like, I want advantage of the tech, but I want to create something differentiated. So those are two questions. How much you want to get involved.
Right.
Now, the bigger opportunity is, let's just say that CDPs as a core function are designed to unify different sources of data, rolling up to create a customer view. So
Hmm.
maybe it's bringing in how many times they've serviced and bought from the DMS, how many times they've been emailed or called through the CRM, maybe how many times you've texted them through your texting tool, how many times they visit the website through a website tag, all in one consolidated record. Now, how much data can you get from the web? And this is the key. And I've
Okay.
called three levels of identity resolution. So, level one, and Orbi is a level one identity resolution. Once their tag is on their website and somebody fills out a form on the dealer's website or opens an email that was sent to the consumer that drives them to the website,
Hmm.
that connection then links the Orbi ID with a known person. So when that person comes back to the website, whether they fill out a form the second time or call the second time, the dealer can be notified, hey, Brian Pash is back shopping on the website.
Right.
That's level one. Level one. So the key here for those solutions is you got to get people to open up an email or fill out a form. And there's some new creative ways that dealers are doing that. That's level one.
Sure. Right.
Level two. Level two is a step up to dealers' frustration that only 2% of people who come to a dealer's website fill out a form, maybe another 8% call,
Hmm.
right? There's typically 4 times as many calls and leads in any month from the web. So that means 90% of the people who come to the website don't identify themselves. So level two is using different technologies to find out who they are.
Right.
Now, depending on who you use, some people say I can do 30%, others say I can do 50%, some say even 70%. And what they give you varies. Some may show you their name, their phone number, email, physical address, or they may mask the phone number and email because it's not maybe permissionable to just start calling these people, but you could send a direct mail piece to them
Hmm.
or potentially send them an email.
Right.
That's level two, meaning if a dealer gets 30,000 people to their website a month, right, they would probably get maybe, you know, 400 or 500 leads, right?
Hmm.
300 to 400, 500 leads, but they could know about 15,000 names and addresses, which is a big jump up
Right.
because those people don't have to fill out a form because the level two identity resolution has, in a sense, a database of device IDs and cookies, some still cookies, some IP
Hmm.
addresses, and other technologies.
Right.
Level three is one step further where they're going to be able to tell a dealer when their customers are shopping on other dealer websites or cars.com, Auto Trader. They're out shopping online. Brian Pash gets a notification. I'm a salesperson, and it says, Denise, your customer bought a car from you 3 years ago, is out shopping for a car. You may want to call her up and just touch base. Hey, Denise, checking on your mobility needs. Has anything changed? Are you happy with your car? Not like, hey, we've been creeping you and,
Right.
I
Right.
can see you. Okay.
Intentional messaging.
Right. And then level three also tells you when other people are in market for the brand that you sell. So say you're an Audi dealer. Um,
Hmm.
Level three will say, hey, these are the people in your PMA who are shopping for an Audi. Do you want to send them a direct mail piece? Do you want to send them an email? So, or drive them to your website, so they reveal themselves. So level one is going to get you, let's just say without anything, 2% of the people come to the dealer's website will fill out a form.
Right.
Level one will start to give you another maybe 5 to 10% more knowledge of people who you've already communicated with when they come back to their website. Level two could give you, instead of 10%, 50, 60% of the people who are shopping on your website. And then level three expands that for defection protection, for conquest. And
Right.
so one of the questions you have to ask your CDP provider is what level of identity resolution you provide.
Hmm.
And then also know that even though a CDP may offer a level one identity resolution, you can still partner with another company to add enhanced identity resolution or buy audiences to feed the CDP. So it's not, hey, everyone should get level three. Level three may not work for other reasons for dealers. So this is where the consultancy comes in to help dealers find the right fit.
Fantastic. And, going along the lines of that one more time is I want to really make sure that everybody reads Brian's blog about identity resolution. We had sent it in an email blast a couple of days ago. If you do need that, ask in the comments and we'll make sure that you get the link to that. So when I came down to Florida in, oh my goodness, June, we filmed a couple series, right? And
Yep.
one of them was the Never Start from Zero Again, which is our
Yes.
framework at the agency. So, what that means, everybody, is we are putting our clients in a position to never start from zero again. We want you to own your AdWords. We want you to own your Facebook. If you ever choose to leave us, you're walking away with everything set up properly. When it comes to CDPs, Brian, if somebody wants to follow this same framework of never start from zero again, what should they look for in a CDP partner?
Well, I think Brunella has an opinion on that. Were you trying to communicate just something, Brunella? Well, let me translate for you. Um, let's put it this way. Orbi is one of the platforms that PCG has decided to learn.
Hmm.
Client Command is another platform PCG has decided to learn
Hmm.
because they're different tools for different clients. Never start from zero means, hey, if you pick PCG, let's pick a CDP platform that fits. Let's co manage it. Let's
Right,
activate it. But if you want to fire PCG, still keep the platform.
right.
This is super important. Now, why is that really a differentiated solution for dealers? And Brunel is captivated here about it, is because those platforms do not demand that the dealer does all the marketing through them. And this is a
That's right.
big differentiation. Orbi provides the middleware. Hey, if you want to do all the marketing yourself based on the audiences created from the identity resolution, fine. Client Command, same thing. Use our system. You want to buy our shopper audiences, no problem. You want us to do email? Great. We're great at that. But you want to do email? Great. You can do it through our platform. Hey, you want
Right.
to use our audiences for Facebook and Google, and we do the email? Meaning, what we're trying to help dealers is find a platform that they could do some of the work if they wanted to, or outsource it, or switch vendors who are partnering with them. That's a breakthrough.
Hmm.
Otherwise, there are some platforms that are closed. And
Yes.
like I said, some dealers love this. And there's something for everyone. But if a dealer says, I don't want to do anything, and they go 1 year, 2 year, 3 years with a CDP platform, and they decide they want to start doing marketing or bring other people in, if that platform is closed, then they're in a tough situation. They either have to start from zero
Hmm.
and pick another CDP or stick with the marketing and the activation that platform's doing. What we're just trying to do is say dealers should own their first party data management platform
Right.
and be smart enough to know that dealers fire agencies for reason or no reason. A new general manager comes in. Let's just not keep on starting from zero every single time.
Right. And it makes a lot of sense, right? Because we even know internally at the agency when we switch tools, we've done, a switch in our CRM. We've recently incorporated from different, scheduling tools within the agency. We're starting from zero every time. I have to start a new process. The team is like, oh, not again. So I just want to be clear with everybody that's watching. What we're really doing and what we're trying to educate on is for you to put yourselves in a position of long term growth. Look at your CDP as a long term investment. Look at the agencies that you're going to be working with as long term investments. So, especially when it comes to incorporating in a CDP, like Brian said, this is going to be all of your data centralized in one location. You're going to want to study it. You're going to want to understand it.
That's
And
right.
you're going to want to make sure that it is always carrying over with you. So, having said that, when we talk about data and audiences, we're seeing a big shift at the agency for those of our clients that are incorporating and integrating with CDPs on what the marketing looks like, right? So, along the lines of this, the messaging is getting more intentional based off where somebody is in their journey, but also the lead handling as
Mhm.
well. So I know we mentioned Orbi, but with Orbi, you get lead reactivation reports, and you're sent a report when somebody comes back to your site who didn't necessarily already buy a vehicle. So when we're talking about processes and, yes, the marketing and the tech and the tools, what is something that you think is going to be very important too, as far as the processes go for bringing in a consultant to help with lead handling and all of that?
Yeah. So the real question is, oftentimes, and it's a minute thing, is the CDP real time or nightly batch? This is another
Hmm.
big thing. So you mentioned Orbi. If somebody filled out a form in the CRM, didn't buy, they're still shopping. When they come back to the website, Orbi says, I know that person
Hmm.
and going to send a notification. Client Command does it every morning. Hey, your customers are out shopping at other sites. Hey, this is a good time to call. Full Throttle, another platform that allows shared collaboration, right? Knows in real time when someone's on the website that's already been resolved. So the real question is what do we do with this data? And
Right.
this is so important because there have been identity resolution tools on dealer websites before, but they create a fire hose of data. And if you don't have a place that can manage this data, organize this data, create journeys, this is one of the reasons why CDPs will become more common. But you bring
Hmm.
up lead handling, so let me address that. There has to be a culture that says we want to elevate the customer experience. So if I have an existing customer of mine and they're shopping on my website, I need to react and reach out in real time. If I have a lead that is marked dormant or not interested or
Right.
already bought in the CRM and they're back shopping on my website, I need to have process. Oftentimes, these alerts can get buried from other tasks. It's kind of like, you listen to Cassie Bremer, say, with Car Wars, and she'll send alerts out to managers. Hey, this call was mishandled. Get that person on the phone. And you know what? Not everyone pays attention to the alerts. So, like, oh, we're
Hmm.
so busy though. And no, that was a real sales opportunity. So, the CDPs provide the insights to help with defection, help with retention, help with higher closing rates. But there has to be a culture that says we're going to train to be a data centric organization. And so it doesn't just happen overnight,
Hmm.
but wow, the dealer of the future that is getting these real time signals and knows how to put processes behind them going to make a big difference.
Yep. And going along the lines of the marketing too is, obviously intentional messaging, but you may see your strategy shift at the beginning with you're looking to have great marketing to increase PII within the CDP, right? So one of the ways to do that right out of the gate is, uploading in your contacts from your CRM into the CDP, sending an email blast.
That's
They
right.
click, it starts to increase that way. It starts to segment out. But like Brian said, this is long term. It's going to take a while, but you have to, start small and you have to start somewhere. So, one of the things I want everybody to know today is if you have not chosen the CDP yet, please contact Brian or myself, and we will help point you in the right direction based off of where you think you want to go. We're more than happy to do that. The other thing that I want to do is make sure that everybody knows that a digital dealer on October 18th, there is going to be a CDP roundtable dinner with Brian and the PCG digital team. Brian, we only have 7 spots left. So we need to make sure, and you could reiterate it for me, that if you are going to digital dealer and you want to have one-on-one time with Brian and the PCG digital team to get all your questions answered, this is where you're going to want to be.
Yeah, because dealers have questions like, "Hey, how do I get data out of my DMS? Do I need an API? Can I do it batch? How do I connect in my phone? Calls. What are the best use cases? How do I sell this to my boss? How long is?" There's a lot of general questions, and of course, it all depends on the different platforms. If you're a 50 plus store group,
Hmm.
That implementation curve looks very different than, hey, I'm a single point store, but I'm a high volume store. And I hate the fact that I'm only getting 2% forms out of my website. I want to know who's on my website.
Yes.
So the idea of the dinner at Digital Dealer, it's from 6 to 8. It's before the party
Right.
um, that Digital Dealer has on the 18th. And I see
That's
Carrie jumped in and saying, "Look what happens when I leave for a trip. This is what happens." But Brunella is a sales dog. You noticed,
yes.
Denise, she perked up. She perked up when you said, "Hey, if you haven't picked out a CDP," she's like, "I want to help. I want to help. I
That's
want to
right.
help."
She's ready.
Yeah, and then the other thing is there's a lot of people not going to Digital Dealer, so there's two other opportunities to interact. I'll be speaking at Used Car Week on how CDPs can help your used car acquisition and sales
Great.
strategy, and I'll be having Jonathan Lucinet from Client Command. I will have Andy Schaefer from Telium. I'll also have Derek White, uh,
Hmm.
CEO of eDrive Auto, talking about their
Perfect.
Axle vehicle acquisition platform, how that all ties. And then the Modern Retailing Conference in Palm Beach from the 12th, 13th, 14th of November. Man, we are going to have the who's who of customer data platform experts there,
That's great.
technology leaders. We have an amazing number of large dealer groups coming to do their shopping, to do their discussions. So these upcoming opportunities, the dinner at Digital Dealer, Used Car Week, and MRC, are opportunities for education, for collaboration, for question and answers about data management. This is a new era of data
Hmm.
activation. Have there been companies who've been out on the market for a few years? Yeah. But mass adoption of CDPs is far, from reality. And we're just entering in that value proposition interest level. And the Pash Group and PCG Digital are really shepherding the conversation to help dealers get the answers they need.
Right. And we're happy to do it. Right.
Right.
I think that what I love about our company and our culture is that we're eager to educate ourselves. We're eager to put, your research into place at the agency. You take feedback from us. So again, I just want to make sure that everybody knows if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. We actually could pause here now for some questions from anybody on the live stream too. We're happy to answer them. So Brian gave out some great dates of where we'll be and what'll be going on. We'll make sure that you have all of the links. And again, the Digital Dealer Dinner will be a CDP roundtable dinner where you'll be able to talk with Brian and the team and other dealerships that may have a CDP or may not have chosen a CDP yet. That's very important too. We don't want to necessarily discourage people who have chosen CDP, who have chosen CDPs not to come, right? Because we want to have discussions. So
That's
please
right.
don't think that
And,
you,
and,
yes,
and
go
one
ahead.
other thing, Denise, is very important. Um, there are some dealer groups who have a data lake
Hmm.
where they're progressive, they're multi-store, and they've brought in their DMS and CRM data, and they've used this data lake to create custom management reports, custom performance reports, custom insights. I just want to let most people know, no offense, those aren't CDPs. Those
Right.
data structures are primarily and have primarily been designed for reporting and management functions, not real time marketing, real time communication, real time activation. That's a big difference.
Hmm.
And so let's also encourage dealer groups who have built data lakes or data warehouses for reporting or management or custom KPIs. Don't think that that's a CDP because it really isn't. That's not what it was built for, scaled for, and more importantly, as we move to a more data compliancy model, what many dealers do today is allow their agency to dump lists from the CRM as an ASCII file or dump data from the DMS as an ASCII file. They email that file to their agencies. The agencies load that up for custom audiences. All of that with the new data privacy laws is opportunities for fines. The cool thing about CDP is once you connect the CDP to your marketing activation platform, whether it's Meta, Google, OTT, direct mail, you're never cutting physical lists that are unencrypted. You're literally feeding audiences into these platforms securely. There's no cutting and reloading. There's no waste because people can move in real time from an acquisition audience to an appointment reminder audience in real time or near real time. And this is a big reason why we want to have these conversations. Just know that 2024 will probably be a year of litigation on data privacy. You don't want to be in that trap. And
Hmm.
with the headwinds that dealers have with rising floor planning costs, uncertainty in the marketplace, supply and demand constraints, dealers need to differentiate themselves by elevating their brand experience and being as efficient as possible with a data-driven strategy. And that's why CDPs can be part of that discussion. And I don't know any other conference coming up soon that has so much concentrated energy and education on CDPs than at the Modern Retailing Conference. So make sure you get your tickets. It sells out every year.
Yep.
The Allied Industry tickets, will stop selling them on October 30th. And
Hmm.
then dealers can purchase tickets up until probably 10 days before the show, because once we sell out, we sell out. So if there's any questions from the people on the live stream, or if you have some questions because you're watching this later, shoot me an email, brian@brianpash.com. And Denise, what's the best email for you?
I'm going to be Denise at pcgcompanies.com.
Right. So I'll just put that here in the chat. Some of the platforms these show up, and so I'll put yours in as well, Denise.
Very good. Thank you.
And the other thing is if you are not happy with your current digital marketing agency and love this idea of never start from zero again, meaning, hey, if there's a reason in the future where you want to bring your marketing in house or you want to bring in a different vendor, the structure that we're setting up for dealers now gives them sustainable success. So if you're ready to stop recycling from zero every 2 years or 3 years, why not reach out to Denise? Let her give you a proposal on how PCG Digital can partner with you to find the right data platform, then run the platform in conjunction with you. But you own the platform. Your data is never hostage. You never start from zero again. So, Denise, as we wrap up our online CDP discussion, what did we miss? Is there anything that we didn't touch upon?
No, I'm looking at the list. We hit everything and more. Um, I think that, again, I just want to say that, please don't feel overwhelmed in looking at and choosing a CDP. We are here to help if you have any questions. Like Brian said, just reach out via email. And I think that we've pretty much hit everything. Hopefully, you can join us at the Digital Dealer Dinner. We'd love to see you at MRC. I am doing my VIP exclusive dinner again this year at MRC. So be on the lookout for that as well, too.
Right. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching live. And those of you who are watching afterwards, please share this video with members of your 20 groups within your dealer group. I think some of these conversations are worth sharing to help people start to frame the discussions they need to have with the vendor community. I also have a pretty elaborate checklist for interviewing CDP vendors. So if you want to start more intentional process of interviewing, reach out to me. I can make some connections for you, point you in the right direction. So Denise, thanks for putting this together. This is awesome.
No problem. Yes, this was great. I'm glad we could do it.
All right, everyone, we're going to wave out and say goodbye and appreciate everyone's time. See you soon at Digital Dealer next